to you. You're welcome to stand and join us in word of prayer. Father, we are thankful and blessed to be able to even call on your name today. Thank you for watching out over us through the month, keeping your hand upon us. Thank you for our community. Thank you for those that we represent. We ask God for blessings upon it, blessings upon our court today as we go into this meeting. That you give us instructions, give us wisdom, make good decisions. We ask, Lord, that you'll be with the family of Charlie Kirk today. We know that he such a tragedy. It's been tragedy in our nation, not just him, but there's others out there that have lost their lives. Tragic count. We just ask that you have mercy upon our country. I ask God to watch over men and women in uniform and serving every day in all sectors. God be with us and help us. And God, please have mercy on us. In Jesus' name. Amen. Right, we'll stand for the flag. Okay. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you all. Appreciate everybody coming today. We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. September 11th, which is a very solid day in remembrance of what happened in our country 24 years ago. It's just amazing to me that it's been that long, but still perfect, just like it was yesterday. We go ahead and have the minutes of our previous meeting. Mr. Duff, we'll read our minutes.
All right. St. Gabriel call meeting order, minutes from July 17th, August 1st were read. St. presented the sheriff's 204 tax settlement. Motion to approve by Bond, second by Todd. St. Gabriel requested approval to advertise for bids for earthwork in the fairground park project. Motion by Bond, second by Todd. St. Gabriel presented the proposed rate for the county property tax. The decision was reached to go with compensated rate .059 with a motion by Bond, second by Bacon. St. Gabriel requested approval to place all county tax and district rates on the county tax rate. Motion by Bond to approve, second by Bacon. St. Gabriel presented a request made by Jackson County to key IDA for increase in administrative fees. Motion by Todd to approve, second by Bacon. St. Gabriel presented a grant application from Jackson County to key IDA for KPDI funding. Motion by Todd, second by Bond. St. Gabriel presented a quote from Applied Digital Solutions for dispatch report services. Motion by Bond, second by Baker. St. Gabriel presented Homeland Security grant invoices that are reimbursable. Motion by Bond, second by Baker. St. Gabriel opened discussion for the consideration of closing the Big Hill Baptist Church program. Motion by Bond, began researching, and second by Baker. St. Gabriel presented treasury bills and transfers. Motion by Bond, second by Baker. Set the next meeting September 11th, 1 o'clock. That'd be it.
All right, your motion, we accept the minutes as read. All right, thank you, gentlemen. We'll get into our judge's report today. Welcome Mr. Brian Murray, which is a man of many hats. He is chairman of our fire board. He's also the chairman of the Jackson County Park Development Committee. And he's also took on a new position at PRTC. So he's got to go to a meeting. Do you have anything to say before you leave?
I don't have to go to my next meeting until 2 o'clock, but I gladly accepted the position as the new public relations manager for PRTC last week, and excited to tell PRTC's story to all that'll listen.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, we'll get right on into our agenda. Judge's report, we gave y'all a copy of that. The work of the committee that the fiscal court appointed to advise us on the new Jackson County Fairgrounds project on Cameron Ridge has been very productive. We advertised for bids for earthwork on project, had a bid opening on Friday, September 5th. We had 3 different companies that bid the project, and after the bids were evaluated by the committee, I was authorized to present the recommendation to the fiscal court. Today, during court meeting, we will look at the bids, discuss the recommendation, and award the bid officially. We have tentatively scheduled a groundbreaking ceremony for Friday, September 19th at 2 p.m. Representative Truitt, Senator Stivers, members of the committee, any available fiscal court members, and elected officials will be in attendance. Local media as well as citizens are invited and encouraged to attend. I have applied for funds from the new funding source that the state has opened up concerning the resurfacing of county roads. The Local Roads Assistance Program is a new program offered through the Office of Rural and Secondary Roads that coordinates funding requests to the state legislature and hopes to have roads approved for money for resurfacing county roads. Each county that applies and is awarded will be responsible to provide a match that will go towards the project. The match is determined by population. If Jackson County is awarded, we would be responsible for 12.5% match towards the project cost. Each county can request up to $500,000 per project. I recently sent in 2 project requests. Each project was right at a $500,000 request per project minus our match. Those being for Lodge Hall Road, Buncombe Road, Smith Road, and Cave Springs Road. Projects will be graded by the number of households on the proposed road, pavement conditions, and safety concerns. I requested these roads based on these factors as well as master's recommendations, public requests, and current conditions. The awarding of the projects will be determined by state legislature and the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. So we're hopeful. I don't know if we'll get one road, I don't know if we'll get all 4 roads, but it's a new funding source, and there haven't been a whole lot of counties applied, so I'm hopeful, and it's open to October the 1st, I'm hopeful that we'll get all 4 of those. Just to keep everybody in perspective, you know, we've got around close to 400 miles of road that we maintain. I put in 4 roads that was around 8 miles, and that's $1 million plus our part. That's how much it costs us to maintain these roads. So, you know, I've said that ever since I've been here. People don't understand how high it is, or how much it is to blacktop the road. These masters would love to be able to blacktop every road that really needs it in their district, but there's just, you know, we're at the mercy of funding, and you have to take into account too what road funding we get. We've got diesel fuel, we've got equipment, we've got labor, we've got all of that that's taken out of those funds, so we don't have a lot of our own money to address blacktop needs with. So I think they do a pretty good job for based on what they're given on request. So hopefully we'll get that done. District 1, Danny.
Things pretty good, but they need to finish mowing.
Yeah, finish mowing. Yeah, then also, I have completely forgot about the request that I talked to you about on the Ray Clark Hill or that cemetery. I'd run it by Robbie and told him we was going to go over and try to fix that. So hopefully next week they'll get that done.
They buried somebody there Saturday.
Oh, did he? Yeah, or that cemetery. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, thank you. David.
I got a request on Lewis Branch Road to take off county maintenance. Tell them I'll bring it for the court. I guess get Robbie to go check it out, see what we do to get that done.
Okay, we'll send him over, and then we can start the process next meeting. That where Roger McQueen used to live.
Yeah.
Roger passed away.
Right up beside that body shop.
Yeah.
I think there's just one house on it, it's all the way back in the back.
Okay.
As far as, I don't know how many landowners I'll have to check it out, but need to look into it and see. And, I hope, need some kind of shed over at the garage, but sand just pricing on it, if it's all right, see what it costs, talk about it from there.
That put your lime in?
Yeah, put the line in, it's, they covered it up with tarps, with that plastic.
Yeah.
Whenever it snows, ice on it, you have to unroll that stuff. Just, a lot of trouble, you waste a lot. Stuff gets wet, you can't keep snow off of it.
That's right, yeah.
It draws moisture out of the ground, then it freezes, and it's just a pain.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it costs a big lot, but shit, it's all right. I don't care to get an estimate too long.
We'll get some quotes on it and go from there.
Yeah, if that's all right.
Yeah. All right.
That's about all I got.
Garvin, you got anything today?
We do mold, grading, put gravel
I know I ain't had any calls on your end, the Big Hill Baptist Church Road, I talked to Rich Ornstein at KCO and there at KRS where there's no residences on that road, and that road is deteriorated because of no use on it. If there's no public use for it, that we can go ahead and name it closed. We don't have to have a hearing on it. So we've got a KRS that backs us up on it. So, glad to have that.
I thought that's the way it was.
Yeah.
And this road here, you know, if it don't landlock somebody, I don't have a clue. I mean,
Yeah.
I just talk to them.
Yeah.
They requested, and that's no problem.
Yeah.
It's hard to mow, it's hard to grade, there's one house on it.
Yeah.
If it's all one property, it
Yeah.
don't serve the public need, so.
Okay. That worked. All right, thank you, Jim. Sheriff is out in a meeting today, so we'll go on down to the jail report, right?
Yeah, I wrote some numbers down here. We've got around 70 state inmates at the moment. That's the most we've had since COVID hit in 2019 and 20, which has helped our numbers a little bit. And so our state pay this month was $75,000. Classes brought in $11,000. Our phone system about $1,500. Medical about $340. As I said, that's the most we've had in a long time. And so we've got a couple of contacts that's helped us a little bit. Did a little research today just out of curiosity. Since August of 24 to August of 25, with our state inmates and our classes, we have brought in over $1 million in that year. Now I know $1 million in a jail don't go very far, but that's a lot of hard work to get those inmates. You know, every jail in the state of Kentucky wants them, and you just got to make some good connections. And plus, they do a whole lot of work, and I actually forget about all the work they've done until somebody reminds me of it, and I'd like to give them a little bit of attention. All the hard work they do. It's a different environment in a jail than anywhere you work like that. They don't complain about getting up out of bed on Monday morning. The worst part of their day is when Friday evening comes. They have to stay in all weekend. But while they're in that jail, of course, they get a little bit of pay for that. They get time off their sentence, and they get good behavior for that. But they work, and they work really hard. And they do a whole lot in this community that even I overlook sometimes. But I do appreciate their hard work and the men that take them out.
Yeah. All right, thank you, Brian. Next, we have Brody Kick with us. Brody is, we had a change. We had some circumstances that came up at dispatch, and Brody has moved into the interim position. He's kind of running the helm at dispatch until committee meets and goes over applications of candidates for the position of director. So I appreciate Brody willing to take on the task and man the helm there until all that's settled. But he's got policies and procedures here that he drafted up, and the 911 committee has met and approved to be presented to the fiscal court. Thank you.
One thing I want to note about this, gentlemen, is this is kind of, I had most of this in place. I've I was kind of in a rush to get it in place. The thing about policy and procedures, the purpose is to set a professional standard for our 911 center. I want it to be a center that we can all be proud of, that we don't worry about, and that we trust. Part of that is holding our employees to a certain standard, a professional standard, professional training, professional conduct. Having something in writing that we can hold them accountable to helps with that, helps us to manage that. And the only other thing I want to note about it, unless you have any further questions about what I've written, is that any revisions or additions, and there will be, I've already got a list of some that need to be added, but the process, unless I have guidance otherwise from you gentlemen, is I'm going to present that to the 911 Advisory Committee. Let them say, yes, we want a policy on this. No, you need to change the wording. Let them agree to it. Present it to you all if I need to from here on out. That's perfectly fine. It's just more or less something that I can hold them accountable to say this is the standard that we're going to follow. So if there's any questions, I'd be glad to address.
As I said, the 911 committee met, was that last week we met today? We met last week and went through a thorough discussion on these. If there is any revisions, like Brody said, that, it will be pretty simple stuff. But most of this is cut and dry. This is what the majority of your 911 centers in the state run operations-wise. You're the line of communication between the person that's phone 911 and either or any first responder, which would be law enforcement, EMS, fire department, or whichever one. You're the first line of defense is your 911 operators. So we want it to be this gives them something sitting at that desk, dispatching, to be able to look at, to know, this is how I have to conduct myself, this is professional. We want it to be as professional as it can be. We've entered into a good conversations with the Kentucky, or the DOCJT, which is who does the training for the dispatchers.
I would like to report, Judge, that, and it was thanks completely to our treasurer, Ms. Shea, was a huge help to me. But, last week it's very serious that we have everybody registered for training with the Department of Criminal Justice. And thanks to her work, thanks to Sheriff Isaacs, Chief Zach Bryant, we were able to do that in a day. Right now, we are on the right track to have a trained, within a year, 18 months, barring any personnel changes, but we are on track to have a fully certified dispatch, or fully certified trained dispatch center, which I think would be something to be proud of.
Yeah. I'll put up on top of that as well. I put some, just in my executive capacity, put some upfront stipulations in place, and Brody was on board with it. No visitors in the radio rooms to be locked at all times. It's a professional atmosphere, there's no place to hang out. I put that on my letterhead and it's hanging on the door. So, these are pretty much cut and dry. Y'all got any questions on them?
No, not yet, but we'll look over it. And our motion's been presented. If you get the final deal, you get the final deal, and we'll try to approve this next round.
Yes, sir.
Whatever you get all the bugs worked out, that gives time to look over this too.
That'll work. So we got a motion that we send it back to the 911 committee for final approval, be brought back at the next court meeting. Does that work, bro?
Yes, sir.
Got a motion? Okay, thank you, Jim. Next, I want to point, and thank you, Shay, for catching that. I put the wrong name in there. She fixed it on your agenda. I want to point Danielle Nukowski and Sarah Bolden to the EMS Board of Directors. That will give us 5 directors, which will constitute the, if there is a tie, then we have a break tie. So, and I think, according to KRS, 5 is your, basically your minimum. So, Danielle's agreed to serve, Sarah's agreed to serve. Danielle will be the affiliate from the city. Sarah brings a wealth of experience from nursing, so just need an improvement on them.
Motion. Second.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Second county tax rate for motor vehicle water crash. I missed this at the last meeting, and I do apologize, but the assessment, the tax rate of 2025 was 11 cents per hundred of assessed value. That's what they've recommended the 26 motor vehicle water crash property tax rate certification be set at. This is for the calendar year of 2026, so it'll be 11 cents on 100, unless you all want a different rate.
Is that,
That's what it was last year. Right there's that document, y'all can look at.
so that change the state?
No, it's basically the same.
Motion.
All right, thank you, Jim. Next, item H, thank you, Mr. Duffy, I'll get this over to you after me. Next, award the bid for the earthwork at the park project. We had advertised in the paper, to have bid opening. The bids were received, brought down to the library at 1 o'clock last Friday, September 5th. The committee, I was present at the bid opening since I am on the committee. We did open those bids. I have on these bids the time they were opened and received. There was 3 bids given. Ecotech out of London. This is for all 7 bids of the earthwork at a total of $2,309,282. Praxel bid all 7. This is a lump sum for all 7. At $825,775.62, and Brandon's Excavating out of Manchester, their lump sum was $1,148,016. After discussing we had our engineer present from Nesbitt. Paul Nesbitt was there, which is who Sandy Dunn works for. He was our engineer. He asked abundance of questions about the bids, and after much discussion, the committee recommended that the fiscal court award the bid to the Praxel Company, which is the low bid of $825,775.62. This constitutes the road building. There's going to level about 18 acres to where the ball fields are going to be at. They're going to build a walking track around the bottom. I'm satisfied they're doing a lot of this pretty much at cost, but they've got all the equipment to do it. It will be complete before anything's paid, but you all want, right there's all the bids, so all 3 bids. That was the bid sheet summary. We met probably, about 2.5 hours and discussed all this. We've got, the fiscal court has put a great committee together of community leaders to look over this, and we just felt like after the discussion, that low bid actually constituted that their bid summary gave more detail than the other 2 high bidders. So they basically wrote out 2 pages of what they would do, and I was very impressed with their bid. So we looked over those bids. That's what they recommended. Of course, it's fiscal courts. Since that money is in our account, we are the one that has to approve it.
Judge Gabbard and magistrates also, Jeff Bingham was there representing Praxel. And Jeff Bingham and Praxel was the only one of the 3 bidders that said there would not be any extra cost for rock if they encountered. Dillon Carpenter and Praxel, also, they have so many different lines of work that they're in. While they're there, they're going to be very efficient because they can log for us and get us money for the logs. We have verbal commitments from them building 4 ball fields for around $1 million. That's for 4 ball fields. We had another quote from a company for $1 million a field. So we're in a hurry to get this done. We can't make mistakes. We're trying to hit a budget window that could get us more money to do even more on the hill. Praxel can get on the job much quicker than the other companies, and they said they could complete it, I believe, in 9 weeks.
9 weeks, they said they'd be done.
So, I mean, it was a no-brainer for us as far as the advisory committee, but again, it's your all's call. But the fact that they came in at 1/3 of the highest bid and almost $300,000 lower than the second bid next to them, and the fact they can be so efficient while they're there, I think there's just no question that this is the best use of our money.
I think you're right. Motion.
Second.
All right, thank you, Jim. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the input on that. All right, last thing, well, not the last thing, second to last thing. Operation Unite has requested another use of opioid funds. It's basically the same request that the fiscal court awarded last year, $5,000 to support their efforts. And the county here, they do the hooked on fishing, not on drugs. They do the say no to drugs, say yes to softball, shoot hoops, not drugs, and the Jackson County High School volleyball camp are, and this has all been approved by the opioid abatement committee. I filled out our opioid abatement money report last week, sent in to the state, and our state liaison that looks over how we've spent that money. It's just like just like anything else that Shay does with the quarterly report. We have to account for every dime, and I did that. There was nothing that that was out of place in that. They were very satisfied with the use that Operation Unite did with the money, because they do extra stuff too. They're in our schools, and they do a strikeout substance abuse documentary, and they go in and teach the kids about what can happen with substance abuse. They're part of the Jackson County Health Fair. They had a parent night where they engaged 139 parents and families with what can happen if you get a hold of a vape that's got fentanyl in it or opioid misuse. And so this was their basically what their report of what they did last year and sent in for us, and I signed off on it. But Shauna Mitchell is the chairperson, and Ashley Wavers at the library is the vice chair, and they're asking for $5,000. We've got, let's see, I looked at it yesterday, that count's got about 116,000 in it. So, but it's strictly for use in prevention, education, or anything that is going towards opioid abuse. So it's a legit request. Y'all got any questions on that?
Motion.
All right.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Treasurer's bills and transfers. We didn't have as many bills this month. We did get our first payment of road aid in, so y'all got need for drainage tiles, gravel, things like that, let me know. I'll get the road supervisor on that. We waiting to hear back from the contractor on when they can come and look at what we'd like to do to pave it this year. So that's all. That's what I know on that. No questions. I'll entertain a motion that you have solved the bill.
Second.
Thank you, Jimmy. Any more comments or announcements? Record attendance at the Jackson County Fair. Had to be. Best food trucks I've ever I think I ate everything in 3 days' time. Mark and Brian are big factors in shade on our Jackson County Fire. And it was really good. Doug, I think you was there.
Every night.
It was really, I've heard no negative feedback at all about the fire. It was great, so I appreciate it. And I think this project and getting that fairground on that hill, there's a very strong possibility our fire could be there next year. That's what we're shooting for. And the potential will be endless after that, so. I appreciate the work of the fire board.
We do a really good job.
Outstanding.
Well, we're excited about, we feel like that the growth of the fair and the fair board that Shane put together 10 or 11 years ago, we feel like that the growth of the fair is part of what has necessitated the attention we've got from the state government, from Representative Truitt and Senator Stivers for the 114.8 acres that we were able to buy with state funds. And not only that, but this advisory committee is, we're going to be very focused on making this a sustainable project that has revenue sources that can come in. Our goal, and it's going to be a daunting task because we've got to get it done in a hurry, but we can't screw up, and that's two very difficult things to do at the same time. But we want it to be something that is never a burden for our county government to have to keep up. So we're focusing on sustainable sources of income, like travel baseball, for example. Senator Stivers, that was a real big thing for him and Representative Truitt. Travel baseball, for those that have been involved in it, you have to go to places like Hazard or Harrodsburg to find facilities that can do this. So we're looking at that. We're looking at quarterly concert series that will draw revenue into the place. So, it's really a great time to be here in Jackson County, our first ever fairgrounds. And we want to make sure we get it right. And we appreciate Representative Truitt, Senator Stivers, Judge Gabbard, and the magistrates. But we're going to steer this money and be very economical and efficient with how we spend this money so we get the most bang for our buck.
Yeah. Thank you, Brian. All right.
We trust you guys to do that too. So, there's good people there. There's good people in place, and I appreciate your time and the effort in doing this stuff.
Yes, sir.
Other than that, we'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Next meeting is October the 9th at 1 p.m. Y'all have a good rest of the month.